Hi, welcome to Soul Talk. Today's guest is Karen Ann Navarro. She's the founder of Online Healing Community. She is also co-founder of Special Achievers. It's an NGO which helps children and youth with disabilities to reach their full potential. She is a certified occupational therapist. She is also a meditation practitioner. And she also designs and facilitates programs and retreats for organizations and companies. So, this woman is truly amazing, and we're truly blessed to have her with us. Welcome, Karen.
Thank you, Michelle, for having me. I'm glad to be here.
Yes, actually, I'm so excited. Kasi yung online healing community, it only started, I think, during the pandemic, right? Pero before we talk about that, how's life? What keeps you, busy right now?
Right now, online healing community has been keeping me busy. We have a lot of events every week. So we have collective meditation, we have free workshops for everybody. Then we also have creating space where we interview healers. I'm still continuing with special achievers. So we're working with artists with disabilities. We have an auction coming up. We have an online exhibit at the
Wow.
moment, and then we're designing retreats for organizations now, though right now it has to be online, so we're continuing that work. So it's, yeah, pretty productive this
Oo,
pandemic.
ang dami. But di
Yeah.
ba yung profession mo talaga is to be it's a therapist talaga?
Yes, I'm an occupational therapist by profession. I also see patients pa rin pala online. I think I forgot that part. Yeah, I still see patients online. So I'm an occupational therapist by profession, but I find myself being involved in community work, community development, and organizing activities.
Grabe, sobrang dami ginagawa.
But it's
Ayun.
all aligned. What I noticed was everything aligned, and we have a team, so that helps.
Yes, actually it's true. When it's really aligned, things would be easier. It just looks like na parang ang dami, pero
Right.
hindi eh. Parang it's really all just one big work that's aligned. That's
True,
aligned to
true.
your calling. So,
Like,
oo.
yeah, I agree with that. Like, the retreats, facilitating retreats and designing retreats, I did that 8 years ago, even before the pandemic happened. So I was trained at a retreat center in Tagaytay. So we've been doing that. So when the pandemic came and there's more need for retreats, I mean, I'm ready. I have my modules. It's just easy to do that. And even special achievers, yes, we have projects now. But I started it like 6 years ago, which means at this point it's kind of pretty stable, and I can throw some of the projects to other volunteers or other co-founders, but of course I'm still involved. So the only thing that's kind of new and that I have to stabilize at this point is online healing community. But all of this work, I mean, there's a lot of work happening, but a lot of them have been established before the pandemic, so it's just something that I'm continuing, so it doesn't feel overwhelming at this point, even though if there are a lot, because I've started most of the projects early on.
Mhm. Actually, ang ganda nun. Kasi I've also been reading about work.
Mhm.
This parang book of Matthew Fox about reinventing work. And there was
Mhm.
this one na sinasabi niya na um, work is beyond a job. Parang if you're finding joy and meaning at work, tapos bonus yung daily bread mo, so yeah, it's a whole new it's a whole new way of seeing work. And what you're doing right now, your work itself, actually halos lahat ng soul talk guest ko ganun din eh. Parang yung work nila, it's all connected to that great calling. And
Yes.
I am so happy that you're saying it right now that everything is aligned. So it's not really that hard because you were already prepared to do the work that you are doing right now. Ayun. Pero what was the inspiration that made you, um, start online healing community?
It's supposed to be just a one-time event. The online healing community. I remember you're part of the marathon.
Yes.
We had
Mm-mm.
a marathon, and I have to acknowledge Christina Estampador. I couldn't start it without Christina. So I have special achievers with my other colleagues, And we work with children with cancer. One of our beneficiaries are children with cancer at Child House Manila and Child House Quezon City. And this year, healers have been going to these institutions and providing healing service. And Christina saw that and she told me, how about I bring my group of healers to Child House Manila? And that was March 15. That's when the pandemic broke out. The Manila had a lockdown. And I was telling Christina, I feel that at this point, everybody needs healing. It's not just Child House Manila because you can sense the tension. So we said, okay, so we thought about a marathon. It's actually even Christina's. It was Christina's idea, an online healing marathon that will run from 6 a.m. until 12 midnight that day. But I love organization work. Like I've been organizing events for special achievers prior to the pandemic, and I enjoy that. So Christina was the idea person, and I was the one doing the logistics side, and we did that. Like we met March 15, we put up the page March 17, and then March 24, like just a few days, like 4 days after we put up the page, we started the online healing marathon. And we're so surprised how so many healers just said yes to it. And we really have healers from 6 a.m. until 12 midnight, helping people, giving meditation courses and workshops. And people love it. And at that point, I felt that people need continued support. So I felt that it doesn't have to just be one day. And from then on, we continued with a collective meditation initially. But then the healers really just want to give more. And they're saying, can we have workshops and classes? We'll just give it for free. And I was thinking, okay, let's do that. And then later on, they were saying, I think we should show them our conversation because we talked before the meditation or after the meditation, and it was a very light atmosphere. And somebody said, you know what, we should bring this out. People should see that people can be relaxed and calm even amidst the pandemic, and that started creating space. So it really just evolved from one simple project. I didn't plan it at all. Of course, over time, some people will continue, some people might not feel aligned to the mission. So I felt that I have to continue this project. So until now, it's been like 7 months already.
Mm-mm.
We're still continuing the work at online healing community. And the goal is really just to help people stay calm at this time.
Mm-mm. Actually, ano, it's really very helpful. Even for me, when I also started giving time for the collective meditation and some of the activities, um, it was also part of my journey to be part of the community. Pero tama ka rin, kasi like any other organization, there would come a time when you don't resonate with it anymore. Pero may time na pwede ka rin bumalik, 'di ba? Like right now, parang when we started March, 'di ba? Parang I was there, I was also helping out. Tapos hanggang sa okay, parang I had to do my own thing muna. And then right now you're here at my at Soul Talk. So it's also that connection. It's the camaraderie as well. So it's truly wonderful that you started this thing, and it's also true about acknowledging that there are sometimes when yung alignment baka hindi lang, and you don't need to force, you don't need to really keep on pulling people. They will just come because you just continue your work.
True.
That's a beautiful attitude. Ayun. Pero now that the online healing community has evolved, what are your goals for the community? And do you already have a team helping you? And are the goals all the same? Parang ano na yung update dyan?
Right. Initially, it's really an initiative to help people stay calm during the pandemic. And but later on, as we go along, it's taking so much of my time already. Like siguro, like right now, 80% of my time is with
Oh my
online
gosh.
healing community. And I need some people to work with me. And I felt, oh my gosh, this has to be sustainable. Otherwise, I have to close it. So right now, it has evolved into a school of personal growth and healing. So before, we're just providing free projects, free classes, and free workshops. Now, we also felt that some people need in-depth coaching. Some people need mentoring even. So we're providing healing services, and we're providing workshops now. So there's more of a flow, an energy exchange. But it was so difficult for me to transition to that part.
Hindi, kasi ako, even, yan yung question ko. Kasi even with me, I was giving my services almost for free when I started. But then, it came to a point when, no, I have to start charging so that people would really value what it is that I'm giving. And, it also came to a point when I don't need to be embarrassed about my pricing because that's how I value it. And with you, ganun din ba yung what was the journey when you started having that form of energy exchange?
I had anxiety attacks when I started that. Because I've been doing community development work, special achievers as a passion project. I've been doing that pro bono for 6 years. And if we don't have money, I'll put in my own money just to keep it going. Even for providing retreats, I we just ask for honorarium. I really don't charge. I mean, whatever what they can give.
Yes.
I came
Mm-mm.
from that background, that spirituality, because that was my training. That spirituality community work should be given for free. But then over time, what I notice is it's kind of draining if we just, and what if I want to pursue this as a craft or as a profession? So that's a kind of dilemma. Like for years, I've been indoctrinated that you should just give things for free and allow people to just donate. But in the Philippine culture, you'll be so surprised. People don't donate. In India, because my training was from India. My mentors are from India. That's their culture. If you give things for free, people will automatically donate. So we were taught that, just give things for free, it will come, it will flow. That's not the culture in the Philippines. If you give things for free, like we said, they will not value it, or they just continue taking without giving back. And so I had to clear that belief
Mm-hmm.
that you just have to give things for free. But I had anxiety attacks for 2 months. Like I couldn't sleep at night. I was vomiting.
Oh
Like
my
I had to
gosh.
go to all of our healers to like, oh my gosh, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? But the next day you'd see me. I'm present at creating space. I was meeting with teachers, but at night I was like, oh my gosh, what's wrong? It's really like
Mm-hmm.
it was really challenging. Of course, the healers helped me a lot because they helped. I tried all the healing modalities, you name it. I've tried everything, but what really helped was to just for me to pinpoint the source that I was afraid to charge. Um, so when I figured out that I was able to, that's it naman eh. When you know what the problem is, it's easy to come up with a solution. I had to reconcile with myself that I have to do it, otherwise it will not flow. Like people can just give and give and give. The healers have to eat as well. So there
Yes.
should be a constant flow and energy exchange. And of course there's value in what we're giving. And then what I notice is what really helped me charge in a way, or really put a price or an energy exchange for the services. Some people need more help than others. Of course, we're continuing to provide free services, but some people need one-on-one coaching. Some people need one-on-one healing. Some people need in-depth courses, and they really need to understand what's happening behind it. So that's what that motivated me, because I noticed that my passion and my motivation is really to help. So if you approach it from the help perspective, when I told myself, you know what, if you charge more, you'll be helping them more. That's the only time I was able to accept, okay, let's do this energy exchange just so I can help people more. Otherwise, if I just look at it from, you know what, let's just charge them because that's how it is. That's how the industry is. My system couldn't really take it. I was like throwing it out because literally I was vomiting, which means my body can't accept. But when I look at it from a perspective that I can understand, which is help, I need to help them more. Then that's when the anxiety attack stopped. But it
Oo.
took me like a long time, like 2 months. But what I like about myself was even when I was going through it, I was showing up every single day.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Actually, yun I can also relate because I also know a lot of healers who parang hirap rin talaga to charge. It's already part of the consciousness. Pero kasi that kind of consciousness, it's poverty consciousness talaga siya eh, poverty mindset eh. And if you are truly aware of where it is coming from, like yung fear and yung coming from a place of lack, 'di ba? Kasi iniisip mo hindi nila kaya magbayad. So kailangan free ito. So parang that's also looking down on the person that you're helping. And parang unless talagang they really said na nahihirapan ako, then that's the time, 'di ba? That
Mhm.
you can offer something. But if they really didn't open up, then you shouldn't, 'di ba? Parang it's a different consciousness, and you're right when sa spirituality dito sa Pilipinas iniisip nila na kailangan libre, pero it's not. Even when you go to mass, you give tithes, you give donations, 'di ba? So I can resonate with that and with your journey in terms of throwing it up and having those anxiety attacks. At least nawala na siya, you can get it off your system. That must have been such a relief for you.
Yes. I'm glad I'm over that phase. And I was thinking, oh my gosh, we're talking to people about stress management and how to manage anxiety. And I was the one like having to manage my anxiety. Like, this is so weird.
Hindi,
I'm
pero
helping them. I'm the one going through it.
actually, yun din yung napansin ko sa sarili ko. I am so good at giving counsel and helping other people come into realizations and making decisions. But when it comes to my personal life, it's like minsan ang tigas talaga ng ulo ko. As in. So I also need my own spiritual teacher. I also need my own mentors. So we're also human, and even if we're in the business of helping, we also need help. It doesn't mean that we're perfect, and that's what others also have to see, that we're also vulnerable, 'di ba?
True. But I like vulnerability because I notice it makes me relatable in a way. And I can relate to other people's pain
Mm-mm.
because I've experienced the same journey or I've experienced pain and hurt myself. So I can relate more to them.
Mm-mm.
So I feel we become more effective teachers, facilitators, and mentors, and even healers when we've gone through some kind of pain or hurt or challenge ourselves.
What made you decide to really go into spirituality? What was the first practice that kasi minsan 'di ba parang katuwaan lang, that's just pulling you towards it without really understanding what you're doing, and then later on when you get to understand, you already find yourself at home doing this kind of practice. So in your case, what motivated you to be in this spiritual path?
I needed it. It's not a motivation. I had to face bankruptcy. I was in real estate and my partner ran off with the money and I'm a signatory to all the deals, which means the banks after me or tenants are after me and then the partner ran off. So I needed some kind of anchor at the time. So I was reading a book and it says that if you turn to spirituality, everything that you've lost will come back. So I was thinking, oh my gosh, I've lost a lot of money in the investment. I wanted to return. So okay, let's go to spirituality. The book says if I go to spirituality, everything that I've lost will come back. So I was like very physical in that mindset. So what I did was I was in Makati. I just walk around the block. I didn't even Google. I didn't even Google. I was thinking, sige, let's look very, very, it's very literal. Let's look for spirituality at the moment. So I walk around the block. And the first thing I saw was like this meditation center. And I entered and I did my first introduction. And I felt like, okay, this is spirituality. Let's stick here until I get everything back. But I really love the teaching. Initially, I thought I just stay until I get the money. Really, so weird and very very in a way superficial. I thought I'd stay until I get my money back. I don't know how, but that's it. But I love the teaching and I love the principles, and eventually let go of the business
Mm.
at that time, because I felt I had, because I was really, even when I was young, I was so into business entrepreneurship, and I really wanted to be rich. That's my goal. But then when I got into spirituality, I was so amazed by it, and that I dropped all the other concerns. Like I dropped business, I just did my work, and I really really focused on it. My goal was to go to India every single year for the last 11 years that I was there. But for me to qualify, parang I have to qualify to go to India. um, I had to go to meditation class every single day. I wake up at 4 a.m. in the morning. I applied so I can be, I call it a monk house, because for when I got into meditation, my goal was to just be a monk. Like I let go of all, I was so materialistic, but all of a sudden I just let go of all material desires at that point. And I was thinking, okay, I want to be a monk. That's my new goal, and this is like 1 month into
Mm.
1 month into like spirituality, but I'm so committed. If I say I'm gonna do it, I'm really gonna do it. So there was one time I remember, because I really couldn't wake up at 4 a.m. So what I do is I will not sleep the whole night. So I'd wake up at 4 a.m. I kind of pushed myself so hard. And then when I talked to my teacher, I was thinking, "Oh, so how are you now? You know what? It's kind of hard to do this because I'm always puyat." And she was saying, "What do you do?" "I don't sleep." What? That's not exist. I'm sorry. And then I realized, okay, so what I do, I have to sleep early and then wake up. But there was a time like I was very gung ho. Like you tell me what to do, I do it because I really want to do it. And so I went through the process for 6 months. And I was thinking, this person is really committed. And so I was thinking, can I go now to the monk? I call it a monk house where they have training. So I was thinking, if I go there, then they let me enter the real monk place, and then I can be a monk.
Mm.
But it didn't work for me. Like I tried so hard. I was in the monk house and I received training for 4 years, but it just doesn't fit. They don't. It just doesn't. I don't resonate with the people there. And so even if I was volunteering in the retreat centers and they're ready to take me in, I got sick. So even when I was ready, my body collapsed. And what my goal is really to just open the door of the meditation center. I don't have any other goal. My goal is to just be in the meditation center, just meditate the whole day. And if I have the privilege of opening the door, I'd be so happy with my life. And but then I realized, okay, this is not my calling. But I tried so hard.
Mm.
I really tried
Parang
so hard to get
grabe,
there.
4 years to ano, to walk away from it. Parang ganun ba?
No, I was meditating for 11 years. But
Wow.
for the first 4 years, my goal is to really just be accepted as a volunteer. I mean, if you become a monk, you don't get anything. You let go of that's what it is. You let go of
Mm.
every single thing. But for some reason, even if I was there for 4 years and even if I was ready, um, it doesn't work.
Oo.
When I'm
Parang
ever in
it's
this
not really the life that ano,
It's
that's
not
for you.
really, yeah. Even when they were ready to accept me, I got sick, so my body wasn't ready for the work, and so I had to go out. I have to leave the monk house, and that's when I started Special Achievers, because my senses, my spirit always wants to serve,
Mhm.
and if you ask me to stop serving, I will just find another way to serve, because I will not be happy if I don't serve.
Mm.
So after when I realized that I'm never gonna be a monk, and even if I try so hard, that's when Special Achievers emerge, and then I just built it.
Mm. I think you're really meant to work at the outside.
Yeah.
Hindi siya yung um Kasi pag monk, 'di ba, you're inside, everything is
Yes.
provided, but then you live a very simple life and you're serving the other students and volunteering, pero it's really a life of contemplation.
Yes.
And perhaps that wasn't really for you. You're meant to be out there and helping others in
Mhm.
different ways. So actually maganda rin yung realization na yon. And I I I can resonate with what really motivated you to take that first step into the meditation center. That's is that Brahma Kumaris?
Yes, yes. I went to
Ah,
Brahma
okay.
Kumaris for meditation.
I didn't know that they have a monk house dito
I
sa
call it,
Philippines.
they have a retreat center in Tagaytay.
Yes.
I call it like that because it's so people understand it when you say monk. But when you say Brahma Kumaris meditation center, they don't understand it. But when I say I want to be a monk, then they understand that there's the vow of celibacy, there's a vow of poverty, then there's a vow of simplicity. So
Mm-mm.
just so people understand. That's how it is. But a lot of the people there are volunteers.
Ah,
But what I
okay.
want to do is to really just stay, like what you said. Some of them they work and they go out in the world and they volunteer. But me, what I want to do is to really just stay in the center and meditate the whole day, or
Mm-mm.
open the door for people to go inside. That's just my life goal for a while.
Oo. Pero ang laki ng shift ha from being a person who is really into business, who's into entrepreneurship and wanting to be rich, all of a sudden, 'di ba, because of some trauma that happened, you entered a monk life and had vows of poverty, celibacy, and what's the other one?
Simplicity. No, not really monk life. I wanted to just, well, I at that point I'm still working, but I was a regular student there. And my goal is to be one of the volunteers. They call it volunteers because you can still continue with your life. But that's not what I had in mind. I just want to stay inside the center and meditate the whole day. Because what I realize is when I got into spirituality is that riches is not really physical.
Mhm.
The riches that you gain are the inner resources that you have, and that's my treasure, and that's what I realized. And so I was thinking, if I just meditate all day and I contemplate all day, the more I will evolve into a better human being, the more I will be able to tap into my inner resources. But then i but then sometimes you design things for yourself, but that's not really your calling. And you're right. What I realized over the years is that my calling is to allow people to come together and to bring spirituality out in the world. Because when I started Special Achievers, the motivation for me there was I felt my life change because of meditation, not externally, but internally. I just felt so content and so happy. That's why I was able to let go of the business, because
Mhm.
I felt full inside. And I was thinking, oh my gosh, if I would love to share this feeling to everybody. And the closest people that I'm working with are children with special needs. And I was thinking, if this meditation really works, then it should work for everybody. So I was thinking, let's try it for the people that's the people that's near me. The problem is I cannot teach them meditation because they don't have, most of them, not all of them, but most of the kids I work with don't have the cognitive capacity to understand meditation or to even sit still. Like
Yes.
most of my kids
Mhm.
are like running around and they're
Mm-mm.
hyperactive. So I was thinking, what aspect of meditation can I apply to these kids? And that aspect of focusing on goodness, focusing on what they're good at, putting a spotlight on what they can do. So I just took that, just focusing on what they can do and what they're good at. And that's the only thing that we're doing at Special Achievers. We just focus on their talents and and on their strengths. And then it worked. It worked for them. Like right now we have a documentary entitled Posible, which says that SPEDS, it's a program where we bring the arts to the public school, and the movie highlights the abilities and possibilities for children with special needs. Right now we have artists earning 4,000 to as much as 70,000 per exhibit for their works. So I was thinking, oh my gosh, this really
Wow.
works.
Mm-mm.
Like even if you just focus on their strengths and abilities, we're thinking, oh, okay, so this works for children with special needs. Imagine. what if I bring it out to everybody else? I mean, if it worked for children with special needs, it will work for everybody. But then I don't have time to do it because we're so busy with special achievers. We're supposed to have this showcase of all their talents. We're supposed to bring the documentary all over the Philippines. I was thinking, oh my gosh, I don't have time. But I was thinking, oh my gosh, if it worked for them, it should work for everybody. And then the pandemic happened. And I'm so grateful for it because now I have time and people are also more open to look into spirituality and healing and personal growth.
Ano, I can resonate with the with the inner inner wealth, the inner treasure, because money is still energy, wealth is still energy, and you carry that with you with your consciousness, and every time you need it, you can physicalize it into in this reality. So I am actually, I'm glad to that you have touched on this subject, kasi naniniwala rin ako na um spirituality doesn't really need to be poverty conscious or all about freebies. It's something that can touch on prosperity as well. And there are so many spiritual institutions that are so prosperous and abundant. Magugulat kayo sa sa prosperity level ng mga organizations na very spiritual. So that also is a validation for me that if you're working for God, He will really provide for everything. Ayun. Yun. Pero with you, Karen, what do you think are the most important values that you had or that you have when you started sharing your services, yung meditation and the retreats to organizations and communities?
I'm really always motivated by helping. I really love helping people, and I s- I'm just so inspired every time I help, and that really lights me up. So the motivation is really to help people to reach out, but also I feel that I've always been compassionate. I feel I have this big heart, and it can embrace a lot of people. It's like it's very inclusive, and I sense that that's what online healing community is. Of course, I belong to a certain group, and I've trained with a certain group, but online healing community has evolved into this community which embraces all kinds of modalities, all kinds of religion, and everybody's welcome. So I guess that's the value that really in a way we really use in the community, they really utilize in the community. It's all about inclusion, it's about coming together, it's about helping everybody, and there's a lot of compassion and care, a lot of heart.
Mm-mm.
I can say there's a lot of heart in the community. It's the same thing that I bring also in all of the other projects. Like I'm involved with even special achievers, and I sense that it's the same value with special achievers. It's about coming together, showcasing abilities and possibilities. It's the same value, different different expression,
Mm-mm.
but same value. And I noticed and I recognize it came from a pain because that
Yes.
was my pain. My pain was I kind of felt, of course, it's nobody's fault, but I felt excluded. I always felt I'm different.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's the need for me to embrace everybody, and there's a need for me to bring about, to create communities where everybody feels accepted. And so whatever, I'm doing a lot of projects, but it always comes back to that, the need to
Oo.
include everybody and the need for coming together.
Mhm. That's beautiful. How do you take care of yourself? Because being a giver, being a helper, there's a tendency to really overextend or overgive or overhelp. How do you keep that balance that you also take care of yourself while you are continuously giving?
I think what I like in my journey was I didn't go out there right away. Like I told you at the start, I just want to be a recluse. I just want to be a monk. So the for the first 4 years, I did service, yes, but I was focusing on myself. I did a lot of contemplation work. I did a lot of inner work for the first 4 years. So that was very, very established. And I had this routine because that's what meditation taught me. Like I would wake up at 4 a.m. at dawn to meditate, would have every hour. I was taught that way, that it would be good if every hour you take a pause during the day, then I'll sit down for dusk meditation. I have my journal. So for the first 4 years, I was serving, but my focus was really on contemplation. And so I have a very, very strong foundation on personal mastery and on contemplation and meditation. And then I felt that it's only after my foundation was strong that's when I was called to serve. I thought I was called to serve inside the monk school. That's what I call it anyway. But then I was called to serve outside. And so that's when special achievers happened after. And then I noticed 6 years I was just doing special achievers and my work. And everything that I learned in special achievers, I learned how to raise funds in special achievers. I learned how to reach out to communities. I learned how to organize events. So that was the thing that I was learning. And then now I'm being called to do another community, which is online healing community, which focuses on organizing events, reaching out to communities. So I was thinking, I love how my journey prepared me for the now, and how being open to the calling actually allows me to flow. Because if I was just like so adamant and was thinking, no, 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 I'll just go inside, I'll just be a monk forever, whatever I do, I don't think, yeah, my life would flow. But yeah, being open to the purpose, being open to the call allows me to flow.
Actually, ano rin, I can also resonate with wanting to be a recluse.
Mhm.
Kasi there was also a time in my spiritual journey when I wanted to just enter the convent. And I had my spiritual director back then, she's a Senecal nun. So she was telling me, um, being a nun is a vocation. It's not something for you to ano, to you so that you could escape life. So parang ako, oo nga no, parang vocation nga naman talaga when you enter a convent, and it's not something that you use to escape life. Because when I also started the spiritual journey, there was also something that I was looking for. And being a Catholic, I started with mga Ignatian retreats, and then until I found meditation. And pero kasi sa Ignatian, very contemplative rin yung approach. So there was a lot of contemplation, a lot of discernment, and I really got to know who I am at a deeper level. And after years of going to retreats and having a spiritual director, I found meditation, and mastery also started to happen. And mastery does not only happen during meditation, it's also happening as we do our work. So, yung sayo, yung when you found your personal mastery while inside the monk house, parang ako, sana ganun na rin ako, no? Parang nahanap ko rin yung mastery ko while I was a recluse. Kaya lang hindi eh. I was really, my path is really pushing me to be out there. And I am gaining that mastery as I do my work. And I'm sure that yours then, your level of mastery is also going at a deeper level as you continue on your journey right now. So, ano, um, what can you say about personal mastery? That naka-mute ka.
I actually wasn't a total recluse, like because we were encouraged to work while we volunteer. It's just that all my other free time, I was there. I was always in the meditation center. I just work. At that time I was just working 4 days a week, and then before work I'd go to the meditation center. After work, like I don't have any social life. Like it was just work and the meditation. And then I just volunteer in the meditation center. And then all my weekends I'll just go to the retreat center in Tagaytay. So I wasn't really a total recluse, but there was so much attention on the inner work. And I really can resonate with you that personal mastery happens while you're at work because that's when you're challenged.
Mm-mm.
What's your question again?
Hindi, yung sa personal mastery, how does it really help a person answer the call or live their purpose? how would a person have that level of mastery para they could be ready to take on the task that's being given to them.
I feel that personal mastery just allows us to become a better version of ourselves. And we become bigger and better people. Then whatever we're holding become bigger and better. Because the lid of your organization, whatever you're holding, will just only be as big as you are. And so it's very important for leaders, for founders to always continually improve themselves because the growth of the organization or companies or whatever project they're holding will only as grow as much as the founder grows.
Oh yes, that's so true. Kaya nga parang 'di ba most companies parang pag nawala yung chairman, let's say the chairman or the president passes away, sometimes the company really couldn't cope because it's the chairman's energy, the chairman's mastery that really led to the growth of the entire company. And pag nawala yung figure na yon, parang nagsishake yung foundation ng company unless there is a successor who has the same level of energy as the predecessor. And ano, that unless also that successor is willing to continuously grow with the company. So that's also true. Parang that's why with everything that I do, I'm not really looking at the numbers. I'm more focused on my growth, and I know that as I continue to grow, you know, people would be more attracted to what I am serving. And
That's
I'm sure that's the same with the online healing community and in your case as well. I- the growth of an organization is deeply tied and intertwined with the founder.
true.
And that's why if you're a founder, if you're the head of an organization, personal mastery is such an important thing.
And right now, that's what we're offering to organizations because we've figured it out. All of the healers, all of people in the spiritual path have figured that out. That personal growth is tied to the growth of the careers of professional life, even organizations and company. And so that's one of the things that we're offering because we know that it can really help them. So we're offering it to organizations and companies as well. Self mastery
Mm,
and personal growth.
that's really beautiful. Yun. Actually, I couldn't add anything more anymore. Kasi parang ang dami na nasabi ni Karen that's really valuable, and she has shared her vulnerabilities as well, her stories, and that's really wonderful to hear that even Karen and I, we also have our own downs in lives, but we found ways to lift ourselves up. And that's a lot of motivation that if we can do it, so can you. And having our own communities as well, we also believe in the mastery of each person in our communities, and all you have to do is to just take that step towards growth, towards improvement, towards development. And ano actually, Karen, why don't you invite them to the activities of the online healing community as well?
Right. Thank you, Michelle. So, I would like to invite everybody to please check out Online Healing Community. Really, we're a school for personal growth and healing, and we want everybody to stay calm and spread calm at this time. So, every Tuesday we have creating space. Thursdays we have free workshops, and we have collective meditation every Sunday. So, hopefully, you can join us, and let's help everybody stay calm during this pandemic.
Mm. Ayun. Actually, I am not really, kasi meron mga ibang tao na parang competitor ko si Karen or something, di ba? Bakit ko i-sharing, ba't ko i-guess si Karen sa community ko? But then, it's not eh. We all have our own work, and the work that we do, it's all aligned. But we still have something special innate within us to give to our communities. And it's also good to for our communities to know other healers kasi makakatulong yun eh in the collective, and it's no reason for me not to invite other healers as well, so that you guys would get to know them. So actually yung lineup po nga for the next few ones, they're also healers, and they will also have gained a certain level of mastery. So I am also excited with that. So this last quarter for the year, um this is truly something exciting for me and for Soul Talk as well. So Karen, thank you so much for guesting, and I know that you're so busy as well. Alam mo, parang lahat na ata ng guest ko sa Soul Talk, napaka-busy. But thank you so much. I really appreciate you, and um thank you also for choosing to go outside and serve others. And I'm grateful that I have met you through online healing community as well.
Yeah. Thank you so much for the invite, Michelle. I really appreciate it. That you're one of the first healers who really help us. And I resonate with you that it's really not a competition, especially in the industry that we're in. We're like, they call us light workers. And what do? We turn on the light, and the more lights turn on, the better it is for everybody. And that's what I see. Some people start out in the community, an online healing community, and they branch out. They have their own, and I'm so happy that it happens, because the more that the light spreads, and it's really our work more than anything to spread that light, that the more lighted people out there, the better it is for everybody else. So thank you so much for doing this work, Michelle.
Mm-mm. And thank you, Ren. For those who are watching, and for those who are going to watch the replays, Ren, my biggest wish, even with Karen, is to see some members or all members of the community to really excel in what they are called to do. If you have gained that level of mastery, that level of awareness, and you're bravely stepping into the path that God, the universe, or even destiny is calling you, I would be so happy for you. And that's like merits or bonus points for Karen and I, even sa online healing community, because I also know some of the healers there, and it's wonderful how much positivity and how much light um, the groups or the light workers are also doing for all. So truly grateful.
Thank you so much, Michelle, also.
Mm. Thank you, Ren. All right. So, let's we will end this now, and if you want to get to know Karen more, or if you want to message her, I'll be posting the link to Online Healings Community's page and their group. You could join them, and of course, find connections with the people, with other communities, 'di ba? So, with sige, yun na. Thank you so much. God bless everyone.
Thank you.